Hello friends! I wanted to make a short video today because I've had Apple II on my mind lately. And specifically, some of you may remember that I did my very first Apple II video about 10 months ago. It was my Christmas video, and I showcased this Apple IIc for the very first time. This Apple IIc was gifted to me by Mark Jositis. It was last year in September of 2023 that Adam McGoy sold Mark this Apple IIc, and Adam had de-yellowed the case, and then Mark took it from there and joined in with Javier Rivera, who is known as the Hav Master here on YouTube, and also Jonathan Adar, and they joined up, and Mark, being owner of MacEffects, added the 2C colorful keyboard that you see here, and then Jonathan and Javier worked on the little LCD that was the same shape and size, and Javier did an amazing job on the 3D print of that, and Jonathan helped put it together, and Jonathan also gave me a replacement power supply and a little adapter, and he even made 3 discs for me too. So the dynamic trio really came through, and basically the reason they did it is they wanted to introduce me to the world of the Apple II. And even though I'm a US citizen, I was born in the United States, I didn't use Apple IIs in school. I actually had at my school, they were Commodore 128s of all things. And at home, our very first home computer was the Macintosh 128. So really, I never had a chance. I touched IBMs and DOS and Windows machines and all manner of machines, but I really never had a chance to fiddle with an Apple II until this machine was gifted to me last year. And so I'm really appreciative of that. It reminds me a lot about, the IBM PC because, as you know, the original Apple II used DOS. It was Apple DOS, and then later it was upgraded to Apple Pro DOS, but basically you have the command line, you've got built-in BASIC that you can use. And wow, it's a different experience than the Mac. The Apple IIc, of course, came out at the same time as the Mac, so it shares some of that Mac design language in that it's extremely compact, and Steve Jobs wanted most of the features that you would need to be built into the machine, as opposed to having cards, and the Mac didn't have cards, and neither does this. So the upgradability is limited, but for the most part, it had what you needed in there, although it was more challenging to add other things that the 2E, for example, could easily have as an upgrade. But there are some nifty upgrades, and if you take a look here, this is not the LCD that was originally sent to me by Jonathan and Javier and Mark. This is my 17-inch Dell VGA only display. You might say, well, how do you get VGA to work with an Apple II? This does not have composite inputs, it's only VGA, but I purchased a 2C to VGA adapter from Plamen, who is based in Bulgaria, and it's pretty neat. I plan on doing a video to showcase all of the features that it comes with, but that adapter enabled me to use this and show you exactly what I'm saying here, and you can play games on it. It's pretty neat. And also there's a gentleman by the name of Rob Kim who came out with something similar. That's a totally different shape. He has his own 3D case for it, and his includes both VGA and HDMI. But it has a similar number of functions. A little push button, you can push it to change it to an amber screen, monochrome, or a green screen. You can simulate CRT scan lines, both with Plamen's adapter, which is what I have, or Rob Kim's adapter. And I also have Big Massive Wires drive switcher. I have ROM XC. I even bought a Mockingbird, which is an audio card that, even though this doesn't have card slots, you can install upgrades like that in this 2C. So originally I was going to do a video that's a monolithic video showing you all of the upgrades I have for the 2C, but I realized that I want to show you the installation too, and that would just be too long. It would be too much. It would be information overload. And so what I decided to do is I would break those up into separate videos and give you some bite-sized chunks of those upgrades. And I'm still fleshing out the script for that. And I apologize I've not released a formal video for a long time because I've been working as a beta tester for Warp SE, Zane Kaminsky from Garrett's Workshop, and we've been working on that for, goodness, a couple months now, I guess, and all the details and all the videos that I have created pertaining to that are over at the Tinker Different forum. But the reason I'm making this video today is because Mark Jositis recently asked, just a matter of a few days ago actually, for my address because I moved in June of this year. And I realized I'd never given it to him, so I gave him my address. And just a few days later, Well, what do you know? That's today. And something arrived in my hands. And I didn't request it, but he sent me something pretty amazing and I wanted to share it with you. And it is this. It is, as we can see here, if I flip it around, the Apple IIc Reloaded. Now, those of you who've heard about reloaded boards before, Kai Robinson created a Macintosh SE Reloaded board where he basically reversed engineered the original SE motherboard and created his own so that you could either buy new components or shift over some components from your battery bombed board, for example. And I made a whole video series about that. And then Bohl from Germany also made his SE Reloaded board. Whenever you see the word reloaded, it's basically a recreation of the original thing back in the day. And what Mark has recreated here is the case. And on the back we can see it does not include the keyboard, but he did a Kickstarter for this clear case and also for a black case. And that Kickstarter is over, and he's now has stock of these cases, and apparently he's shipping them out to supporters. And I just happened to receive one out of his kindness. And it includes the top and bottom plastics and the handle. And I'll be showing you that in a few moments here. Javier, Havmaster, already did his overview of that, but I just wanted to show it to you and give you my commentary on it because it's honestly pretty neat. And one other neat aspect is the Mark's wife did an amazing job posing as a model for this photo, just because you can see she's wearing the same shirt I am. And this is not a recreation. This is one that was from back in the day, and she's got that on, and then she's got the red cap, so it's just like the Apple II Forever lady, and she did an amazing job. I mean, her teeth, how much the teeth are showing, the lip position, I don't know how many takes it took for her to get it right, but she did a great job in the way she's gripping the computer. And of course, the original computer is the white one, right? And this one is completely clear with the clear case, and also this keyboard here. And wow, pretty neat. Now, by the way, speaking of the keyboard, before I actually show you this, the keyboard is currently, if you go to the MacEffects website, I checked before I made this video, just because I want to make another video that focuses on this, and I found that this keyboard is not in stock. So I said, Mark, are you ever going to sell this again? Are you going to stock it again? Because if you don't, then there's no meaning for me to make a video about the keyboard. And he said, yes, he's going to make a video about it, or not a video, he's going to bring it back in stock. He just couldn't tell me the actual date. And so that's unknown right now, but it will be back in stock. And if you go to his IIc keyboard page, you'll see that there's two versions. One is like mine, which has transparent keys. They're actually semi-transparent. They're not crystal clear like glass, but you can see part of the way through them. And so it's just like this. And then he has another one with opaque keys, and Action Retro did a video about that. And both have LED backlights, but the way that you see the backlight most beautifully is, of course, with the semi-transparent keys like this. Anyway, that will be back in stock at some point, I guess soon, so that you'll be able to have a matching set. You'll need to buy the keyboard separately, but you can buy it with this. And this kit includes this little Ziploc baggie here, which has some goodies inside. Oh, one thing I just forgot to tell you, that this doesn't just ship like this. It has an outer shipping box to protect it. And it was really quite good that Mark did that, because today it was raining pretty heavily, and the delivery man delivered the outer shipping box. The reason I'm not showing you the outer shipping box is it's pretty wet. And that protected this. And this is a really, really nice box. I mean, I love it. So I'm sure that you will too when you buy it, and you'll want to keep it as a keepsake. Yes, another thing you'll need to store away in your closet, but yeah, you want to keep this. And so the outer box does keep this in very good condition. So I just wanted to mention that. But inside the box, you'll see this, and it includes these little metal pieces, which are required for installation, and it includes 4 semi-transparent rubber feet for the bottom, and it includes an Apple logo. Now, this Apple logo is not a sticker. This is a badge. It's one of those raised, 3D type of badges. So it's pretty much just like the original that's on this IIc, and I really like it. I like it because a sticker, sometimes they'll peel off or they'll fade over time, and this is one of the, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it's reproduction or not, but it looks incredibly good, just like the stock one. And then behind it, we can see the sticker. Now, this sticker will go on the bottom of the case, and it's a reproduction of the original one. And it even has two check boxes on it. It's a little bit small, so I can't see it so well, but this one says, oh yes, A2S4000 is one of the check boxes, and then the other one is A2S4100. So the 4000 model was the one that came out in 1984 and sold until, I think, November of 1985. And then the 4100 model was sold from, what, the end of 1985 or 1986 through 1988. And that's what this case is compatible with. There was a third model that came out later, which is the one with the 3.5-inch drive. So this case is not compatible with that. This one is only compatible with the Apple IIc, which has the 5.25-inch drives. But the majority of Apple IIcs have the 5.25-inch drive, so that's why Mark only made one that's compatible with them. But when you open the case, then you'll see this. It comes in this nice styrofoam soft packing, and it's to ensure that there's no damage. And it's wrapped in plastic. And I'll just take it out here for you. And then we can remove the plastic. And here it is. Wow. Now, it has the handle too. And I think that's really neat because the name of this is a clear case. I would say it is semi-transparent. Maybe the best name would be frosted case because it's not crystal clear like the glass in your car or the window glass in your house or apartment. It's a little bit foggy, if that, maybe that's the best way to describe it, the foggy case. Those of you who know the MacEffects Macintosh SE and SE30 clear cases, the original case, I think he called it Model A, was a foggy case. And then he later refined it to be crystal clear. And I have one of the crystal clear versions. So this is not crystal clear, but you can see, I mean, you can see my hand through it here, right? And you can see very well through it. But normally a semi-transparent set of plastics has a rough part, either on the top or on the bottom. But on this, it's perfectly smooth, no matter which side I touch. And it's just ever so foggy. So it's mostly clear, but a little bit of fog. And I think that's actually quite good because for the Apple IIc, what's on the inside in this area, which is the majority of what you're going to see when you look at it at the top, you've got the power supply over here, and then the rest of it mostly is the 5.25-inch floppy drive. And those two things are not necessarily the most beautiful things, so that's why being a little bit foggy is nice. Plus, it has all of the original slits in it, just like the original case. So it's a very nice reproduction. And then you have 2C printed in the black silk screen up there. You've got 8040 for the button here. And then you've got the keyboard printing for the keyboard button there. And then over here, you've got disk use and power also printed on it. And you've got all the cutouts that you need for the drive, for the keyboard, and then on the side for the internal speaker volume, and then the headphone jack. And Javier Rivera on his HovMaster website, you know, he opened it up and he showed a little bit more detail. I'm not going to do that because what I'll do is when I do a video, I'm going to do a complete teardown of this computer and show you how it's installed. And so I'll do a video about that. But I must say, this is, wow. You know, it's if you've ever seen anything from Mark Jositis or MacEffects before, you know he gives a lot of attention to detail. And I've seen his, you know, I have his Macintosh SE clear case. It's on one of my Macintosh SE30s, and it's very well done. And so is this case too. I would say yes, it is very well done, and I'm sure it was quite costly to make, just because it said that this is injection molded, but you know, it's not something you can do for just a few $100s. We're talking about several $1,000s to get that set up. I didn't check with Mark on the actual cost to make this, but really it's pretty incredible. The work that went into it, the attention to detail. I believe Javier was involved in this as well. I believe that's what he said when I watched his video. I'm very forgetful, so I forget these things. But yeah, but the handle, it just feels like the original, which is robust. which is, I'm not sure if it's vinyl or what material it is. I didn't check. I'm sorry, I didn't check with Mark about that. But the reason you want to have a strong handle is not because you're going to be toting it around with you. Maybe some of you will, but Javier actually makes it possible now. He has a little adapter for the back so that you can plug it in, and then it's a USB-C. And so if you have a battery pack, you could plug it in there and make it a portable, assuming you had a small enough LCD to go with it. You could make it fairly portable to do that. But yeah, the handle, it's kind of like the original Mac, right? It had a very different shape, but the concept, right? Remember I said the design language is very similar for those 1984 computers because of Steve Jobs' influence. And I really like the handle a lot. And of course, as you know, the handle, it goes down so that you can sit the computer back on it, and the back of the computer is raised up a bit. But one of the neat things about the handle, and the reason why you want to have a good reproduction of the original handle, is because of what Javier Rivera recommends, which I think is really neat. When you open these cases, and he said a lot of people make the same mistake, they try to open it at the front. And if you do that, many times you'll break the tabs. And so what Javier suggests is that you bend the handle down like this, and then you put the computer on the table on your desk that you're working at, and then you raise up the back. You keep the front on the table, so you don't raise it up like 1 meter and then drop the whole thing. No, you just raise up the back and then you drop it. And sometimes it may take a couple times. Now you need to remove the screws first, of course, but you remove the screws and then you just drop it, and then that hits the table and it pushes up on the back side of the case and it pops the case open. And then you can more easily take off the front without breaking anything. And I've opened this case on this computer several times that way. And it is quite easy. And I would say, yeah, that's the safest way overall. You just want to make sure that you have a good, strong handle. And the stock handles are very strong. And so I was always thinking, okay, maybe the little tabs would break. But they haven't. And just by the feel of it and the weight of it, I can tell this is an excellent reproduction of the original. And it just looks like a wonderful, if you're into clear cases, then I think you would really love this. And whenever I do a video on it, you'll be able to see that a little bit more clearly. But as I said, there's also a black one. And those are not shown on the MacEffects website as of today, which we're at the beginning of November right now. But I'm sure that once the stock ships out to all of the Kickstarter supporters, that he will, at some point very soon after that, put them up on his website, and then you'll be able to see pricing and other things at that time. So I just wanted to make this video to mention that this arrived, and I'm really excited to make a more detailed video showcasing it. And I wanted you to know that it will eventually be on the MacEffects website very soon. Another well-made MacEffects goodie, right? A goodie for all of us. And it's really quite exciting at the times that we're in now. All of the things that you can get for both Mac and Apple II that are recreations, something newly made, and especially if you have a case that's damaged or otherwise needs a replacement, this might be a great option for you. So something to consider. And again, I'm very eager to do my other set of Apple II videos for you, so watch out for those. And if you want to see my videos on what I've been doing lately, I've been working hard on the Warp SE accelerator for the Macintosh SE, and I've got all my videos, which are unlisted, so they're not publicly listed. That's why you haven't seen them, maybe, unless you've been on the Tinker Different forum. If you go over there, you'll see the Warp SE thread, and I've been doing a lot of testing on that. Kind of neat. Plus, Mark of MacEffects also has an accelerator for the Macintosh SE too. So you've got Apple II stuff, you've got Macintosh stuff. It's really an exciting time to be in this hobby because there's so much available. So much and not enough cash to buy it all, right? Or at least maybe you have the cash, but the wife doesn't want you to spend it all. I don't know. I won't go there. But yeah, really, really amazing stuff. So thanks for watching today, folks, and stay tuned because I've got more great content to come. Take care.